The Oklahoma City Thunder finished last season 40-42, finished 10th in the Western Conference, and almost sneaked into the
Mhm.
NBA playoffs. Let's take a look at their first 10 games. How's it looking?
You know what? The first 10 games for the Thunder is going to be all about Chet Holmgren. I'm just sorry. This is his debut, right? We're talking about a team that really gelled well last season between Shea, Giddey, Dort, um, the Jalen's, all the Williams and all of them, right? They gelled really well together. And now to incorporate who I'm anticipating watching, Chet Holmgren, it's going to be something to watch. In all of these games, especially the first 10, will be how will he connect? How will they mingle him in what they've already built to make them more successful for the 2024 season? So that's what I
Mhm.
see when I'm talking about the first 10 games. What will Chet do?
Shoot, you know what? I think youth will be their saving grace because they play all the big dogs in the first 10. I'm looking at six contenders. You got to
Hmm.
play the Cleveland Cavaliers, Denver,
Hmm.
the Pels, Golden State, Sac, and Phoenix. Like, who put together this schedule? It's tough.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's going to be tough.
I think so too. And I think really it's about Chet Holmgren and the bigs from those same teams, right? Think about it. Chet versus Nikola Jokic when they play the Nuggets. Chet versus Zion if Zion play when they play with the Pelicans. Chet versus Mobley and Allen when they play the Cavs. Like it's really about because that's one of the things we talked that's been discussed about him. Yes, but if somebody were to body him, can he withstand that? Right? Because he's tall, he's kind of linky. But if you watch them play in the summer league, it's like, wait a minute, he got skills. He can get it done. So can he really get it done when the stage is big, right? When the regular season starts, and how does he fit in? That's what it is. And so I think that's why I don't really know. I'm not in the room when they putting this schedule together, but I think they wanted to just showcase how Chet will be able to manage up against known big players.
That's what I'm saying, right? But the good thing is they have six home games, so the OKC Thunder fans gonna be rocking. One nationally televised game against the Pels. Everybody's anticipating Zion Williamson barreling down the court. And is Shaq gonna take that charge? Well,
Will he have to?
I
I
wouldn't
don't know.
recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it.
I, I don't recommend nobody taking the charge from Zion. New, old, about to retire from the league. I don't care who you are. Don't take a charge from Zion Williamson. New knees, old knees, recovered
don't
knees. Don't
don't
do
do
it.
it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Right. So I'm just thinking, I'm really looking forward to, however, their opening game in OKC against the Denver Nuggets. That's
Really?
going to be huge for the Thunder fan base just to watch Chet play against um, Nikola Jokic. But not only that, the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the Josh Giddey duo, you got to see it. You really got to see it, and it's not talked about
Mhm.
enough. But that's special. And if they continue to do what they did in the 2023 season with them together, we talk about a lot of duels. We'll talk about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Bradley Beal and Booker. That'll probably be the next big thing. All these duels.
Mhm.
But let's not miss the duel between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey. It is phenomenal to watch. So yeah. So I'm thinking that's going to be something else because then we're talking about Shea and Jamal Murray. It's just I'm here for it all the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that tempo and speed that they
Yeah.
play with. The game I have circled on my calendar is November 10th when they play the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento, right? It's a
Mhm.
measuring stick for them, I think, because the Sacramento Kings are another young team. They play fast, and Mike Brown's all about the speed, right? And
Yeah.
OKC
Yeah.
too, right? So I
Hmm.
think they're kind of the same in this sense. I think they match up really well. And then another game I have is against the Phoenix Suns because
Me too.
everybody's going to be watching.
I have that one as well. I have
Yeah.
that one as well. I'm really, by that time, both teams, the Suns and the OKC team, should both be about 10 games in at this point. And so, what will the Bradley Beal, Devin Booker match duo look like, along with KD, of course? What will that look like? And how will OKC be able to manage that? You know, we're talking about teams from the West. How will they? Because these are the teams that they're going to be, really trying to.
Mhm.
meet in the standings. And so how will they be
Yes.
able to manage that? So this would be a great measuring stick, as you mentioned, for the Kings, but also I think for the Suns as well. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And another thing too is that back to back that they have, right, against the champs, and then they play the Detroit Pistons. Now you gotta you're going the OKC Thunder are gonna get up for the Denver Nuggets, right? As the champs, right? Everybody want to beat the champs.
Mhm.
That's just how it goes. But when the next night, when they have to play the Detroit Pistons, now granted at home, but that's another young team with Cade and Arthur Thompson. We're gonna see him
Mhm.
probably for the first time. And hey, you know what? It's going to be tough to play that Eastern Conference team because Monty Williams is going to make sure that those guys body up OKC Thunder. And Shai Gilgeous, as crafty and shifty and speedy as he is, it's going to be tough against Cade Cunningham if he's healthy.
I want to see it. I want to see it. And I think it's time for us to see what Cade can actually do in the league. So I agree with you on that. And I think Monty Williams have a lot to prove,
Yes.
right? Coming from the Suns and how that ended. And now with this new Detroit team who has been at the bottom for quite some time, right? How do he revive this franchise? How do he get, how do they Sacramento Kings themselves back into
It's a verb
right?
now.
No, it is. No, but I'm serious though. They got the blueprint. So now I'm looking at Houston Rockets. Now I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons. Can you Sacramento Kings yourself back up into contention? So yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. Okay, come on now. Let's not pretend the OKC Thunder have been at the top of the Western
yeah,
Conference.
yeah.
Last season they finished 10th, but they were exciting to watch. Detroit Pistons is about 15. Not as exciting, but both teams have been below contention
Yes,
for several seasons. So yeah, I mean there's that as well.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Are you really here for OKC and Golden State Warriors at this
Not
stage of the season?
Here's the thing though, or at this stage of their careers on the Golden State
Mm.
Warriors, just because I just think the Golden State Warriors going to have a hard time with those young teams, right? Full of energy, all about pace. And I just think they really slowed themselves down when they added Chris Paul. So the version of the Golden State Warriors we're going to see is not going to be what we are accustomed to seeing.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think Golden State's gonna have a hard time with young teams like the Houston Rockets, like the OKC Thunder, like the Sacramento Kings. So I don't think no, that's not a game I have circled on my calendar. I think
yeah.
we're gonna be a little shocked by the version of the Golden State Warriors that we're gonna see.
Mm.
So
Yeah, no, I don't have that game either. But Golden State Warriors, they're beloved in the NBA environment. So we may see a turn for them. In the 2024 season, and if these young teams start running over them,
they coming.
and they have height, young teams not only do they have speed, they have height to their advantage. And not only did Golden State Warriors didn't get any younger, they didn't get any taller either.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep.
So,
Yep.
so we got something to really look. So I can just see that the younger teams are going to prevail in some cases. Yeah. And OKC Thunder could be one of them. Since this is an OKC video. You know what I have circled? I have the Suns. I have the Cavs. And they play the Cavs at the second game of the season. I want to see,
Mhm.
again, Chet Holmgren and how he manages the Twin Towers. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing I have circled here. I know you touched on it earlier, but man, Chet Holmgren is what, 7'1", maybe 200 pounds. I'm more concerned about him going up against those guys that typically play in the paint, like a DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Jokic is a big body, but he can be in or out. What is that gonna look like with the Allens and the Mobleys who like to back you down? Chet Holmgren gonna have to get out the way.
You know what's funny? You're right about the different nuggets, and when we're referring to Nikola Jokic playing outside, but can he handle Aaron Gordon? Because that's the one. Aaron Gordon, he the one. And though he may not be their coin or their coin center, but ooh,
Yeah, he'll back you down.
yes. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So you mentioned DeAndre Ayton, I get that. And so when we're talking about up against the bigs, yeah, it makes sense when you want to just say, oh, they up against the bigs, the tall people, the bigs or the centers. But but you can't forget about them power forwards. Aaron Gordon is one of them.
Yeah. I
And
know.
if you didn't know, you should have been watching the playoffs in 2023. So yeah, when we're talking about the OKC Thunder's roster, what will they do with Victor Oladipo?
Oh my God.
Right, because what that team is really young. Now, what Victor does have, he does have experience. I would consider him a veteran in the league at this point, right? And although he may not be as effective as he was when he pre-injury, I think he still has something to offer. Maybe from a veteran perspective, to this team. Will they keep him on the roster? Because right now, OKC, they have to shed some players on their roster before the season begins, or right at the top of the season. So I'm wondering if they will hold on to him, and if they do, how will they utilize Victor Oladipo in this?
I don't think they will at all. I don't think
Mm.
he fits. And you say he
Mhm.
has something to offer. I think he also has something to prove.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, because I think he's kind of been just pushed to the side here lately and
Yeah.
unavailable, right? Miami, he had the bad knee injuries. He just
Mhm.
has not been the same player. But I took it upon myself to look at their depth chart, and I saw Victor Oladipo like fifth string, fifth string point guard. I said, oh, he's not getting on the court. I don't
No.
think OKC needs him to play, but maybe as, the veteran presence, a little leadership, maybe in practice, kind of like a Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I would consider, just to
Hmm.
have that there. I think sometimes rosters need that. Will he be the vocal leader? Can he be? Is he that person? I don't know. Will he become that
Hmm.
person with the Thunder? Maybe. Another thing that I would like to see OKC do for this upcoming season, and we'll be able to see that in the first 10 games if they will improve on their shooting, because they were ranked number 17 in the league in 2023. Will they improve in that? Because that can help, get them higher in the standings if they can do that. So yeah, that's a challenge that they're going to have to face in the 2024 season, and hopefully they'll be able to overcome that and move up in the shooting standings for their organization. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And does OKC still have all those picks? Because remember at
Yeah.
one point, I mean, they had so many picks, and they're only going to get younger. I think their average age right now is like 22. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's unbelievable.
the hunger at 22 is so different than the hunger at 35,
Trying to
9.
exactly.
Yeah. So I want to see those things. The first 10 is going to be a really great measuring stick. Again, the first 10 will not be a solid indicator on how the season will end for them. How the middle of the season will be. No, it was just to see where they are and how they can change, improve, keep going, make adjustments, until the season ends. So yeah. So the first 10 for me is always exciting.
Yes, it is. Okay, so how many games do you think they'll win in their first 10?
I say 5. I give them 5
Oh,
wins, 5 losses. Yep.
okay.
Much better than the previous season, where in 2023 the first 10 they were 4-6. So I give them 5-5.
Hmm.
What do you
Okay, a
have?
little split, a little 500.
Mm-hmm.
I have them going 4-6 in their first 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think youth will be their saving grace. It just feels like this is a really tough schedule to start, but because they're young, I think they'll be able to hang. But yeah, I think they're going to have trouble with the Cavs, and they play them twice.
Yep.
And I also think they're going to have trouble with the Phoenix Suns because
Yep.
can they match their firepower? I mean,
Yeah.
lots of offense on the Phoenix Suns. You got Bradley Beal playing out of
Mhm.
position as the point guard.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Devin Booker, I mean, that backcourt is lethal.
Yeah. Yeah. I have them actually when they go up against the Cavs in their second game, I think that's going to be a loss. Not the last one, not the one on November 8th, but the one on October 27th. Yeah, I
Okay.
have them. And then again, I don't think they're going to beat the Nuggets in their first matchup. Fortunately, it'll be a home game, but I think the Nuggets will prevail for them. And then I don't have them. eh, We talked about Golden State Warriors, but I do have them losing against the Golden State Warriors at home. I do.
Okay.
I have that, and then I also have them losing against the Kings and losing against the Suns. Those are my 5 losses.
Yeah, and I had
Mhm.
them losing against Cleveland because I just don't know. I don't know if Shaq can take that body. I have them losing to the champs, the Denver Nuggets, of course. I also have them taking the L to the New Orleans Pelicans because I'm
Mm.
still concerned about, like I said, like you mentioned at the top of this video, it's all about Chet.
It is. It is.
You
It
know,
is. It
if
is.
Zion Williamson come barreling down the court, what are we looking at? Because that's an easy deuce for him if the middle is wide open. Because
Yeah.
I also had them taking the L to the Cavs in their second matchup, losing to the Sacramento
Mm.
Kings as their measuring stick, and then also losing to the Suns. Because, like I said, that KD, Booker, and Bill, that's 100 points easy. Can OKC Thunder match that offensive firepower? I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Again, the Suns look good on paper. Let me see how they play because I'm still concerned about their depth. And maybe OKC can win on their depth. I don't know. So we'll see.